Welcome and thank you to MassDEP staff for putting together such a great event. 2020 has been another hardworking year for Massachusetts public drinking water suppliers and school officials, especially during COVID-19. Many thanks to all of you who make sure our drinking water is safe and clean every day, all year. During the COVID-19 pandemic, some buildings and facilities have little or no water running through the pipes and fixtures for an extended period of time. These stagnant water conditions can result in discolored water, lower chlorine levels, higher concentrations of lead and copper, and even the proliferation of Legionella under certain building conditions. Fresh water should be drawn into the building water system and stagnant water flushed out before the buildings are reopened. So just a quick word on the lead and copper rule revisions. On October 10th, 2019, the US EPA announced the long-term revisions for the lead and copper rule. MassDEP has reviewed the proposed changes and in general finds the LCRR to be an incredibly complex regulation with multiple categories requiring significant interactions between primacy agencies and water systems. Many of the interactions are necessary to ensure and enhance the protection of public health through reduction in lead exposure. Some key points of the LCRR are that public water systems will be required to submit a complete inventory of lead service lines. Public water systems can start to prepare by making sure to participate in SRF and MassDEP lead service line programs. These include the Massachusetts Clean Water Trust, in conjunction with MassDEP, offers incentives for water utilities to remove lead service lines. Suppliers that appear on the intended use plan for water main replacement or lead service line related projects can replace the private portions of lead service lines up to the water meter at no additional cost to the community and at no cost to the homeowner. The program works by increasing the principal amount of the loan while reducing the interest rate to keep the total cost of the loan the same. The Massachusetts Clean Water Trust Asset Management Plans program provides grants for inventories of capital assets, and those inventories may include all lead service lines. MassDEP has also incorporated the scanning of public water systems tie cards or service cards into an ongoing geographic information system mapping program for public water system distribution systems. MassDEP's drinking water program continues to offer technical assistance on developing lead service line removal programs. The rule also has a continuation of the current lead action level of 15 parts per billion. Any exceedance will trigger the same actions as previously included in the lead and copper rule. In addition, there's a new 10 parts per billion trigger for lead, which will require public water systems to plan for potentially exceeding the action level by taking the following proactive steps. You have to do outreach to LSL homeowners. So these are homes that have lead service lines. You have to prepare a corrosion control study in the event that you exceed the action level. And you are no longer eligible for reduced monitoring if you exceed this 10 parts per billion trigger. If your system is over the lead trigger, you have to submit to MassDEP a lead service line plan, including a goal of replacing all publicly owned lead service lines, and this is for MassDEP approval. Sites that exceed the action level should perform a find and fix approach, where the owner of the identified problem will be responsible for the fix. Systems over the action level will be required to develop a 3% removal plan, and this is full lead service line removals, and to provide pitcher filters and replacement cartridges that covers 3 months of cartridge use after that LSL has been removed. There's a new 24-hour public notice requirement for all action level exceedances, and a new requirement for public water systems to sample 20% of schools and child care facilities located in their distribution system over a 5-year cycle. 5 samples at each school and 2 samples at each child care facility is included in that new requirement. Please note, although there's been some discussion about these possibilities in the past, this revised rule does not include a household action level or the separation of lead and copper sampling sites. So that's the extent of Yvette's comments on this, and I'm sure that this is going to be raising questions as EPA moves to finalize this rule. I know we've got some EPA folks on this call, but our best information right now is an anticipation of a final rule coming out in probably September or October. We'll be happy to answer questions on this. If you have questions on any of these comments, I'd encourage you to email the program director email, which is program.director-dwp at mass.gov. I will not be able to stay on the full training, but you can certainly email that general address, and we'll try to respond to any questions that the presenters won't be able to answer it during this training. Thank you, and enjoy the training.